Welcome to this special edition of the Heart of the Mule underneath the Taylor Industries tent. I am your host, Jason Ketz, sitting alongside with Evangel Crusaders track and field athlete Maurice Dixon Jr. Maurice, thanks again for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're recording here from Jefferson City High School, where you are from, home of the Jays. Is it a kind of a good little reunion to be back here?
It does feel good to be back here. It's been some time since I've been back here, so it feels good to be back.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and get going with the faith side of things. Just talk a little bit about how you came about with your relationship with Christ.
Well, I was really young. I was about 7 years old when I accepted Christ. I was raised in a Christian family. Both my mom and my dad, are Christians, and I've just been going all my life. And I heard the gospel message and I understood it at a pretty early age. And I went to the altar and accepted Christ. And it hasn't been easy since then, but since 7 I've been a Christian. So
is it just kind of one of those things where growing up you knew that with being in a Christian household like you were, that no matter what everybody else was doing, you knew that you were going to be going to church on Sundays?
Right. Well, that helped. And I understood it more and more as I grew older, but I think I made the decision, when I was 7.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Talk a little bit about how you're able to balance not only your, religious practices, but also being able to, keep on top of your studies and also being a track athlete in college.
Right. So I integrate faith into all the other topics. It's not like I separate, them out. I have my faith, and that it bleeds into my sports and also into, learning my job as well. So I integrate them all into the, one. So,
talk a little bit about how your spiritual practices help you in the sport of running with track.
So I'll pray and I'll ask God to help me before, I do the sport, and it's not so much I pray so then I'll do well. It's not just like I give thanks and I keep a good attitude in what I do no matter what happens at the sport.
And you're a psychology major at Evangel. Kind of talk a little bit about how your spiritual practices help you with your studies.
So I think it's good to have both thinking and also to incorporate the Bible into it. I don't think necessarily you need to separate those two out. I think both of those can be, combined, and so that's kind of why I'm a psychology major. I think those things go very well together, the psychology side and, the Bible side. So,
talk a little bit. Obviously, we're both in college. We've experienced a lot of tough times, and talk about one of those times where your faith has really been tested as far as since you've been in school.
Right. So I think it was my junior year, the end of my junior year, and my grandfather died. So my faith was definitely tested. We all thought that he would get better. It wasn't easy, and it was hard for my mom as well. So my faith was definitely tested then. I had to pray and ask God for help. That was not easy times. So.
Absolutely. And talk a little bit about how you got involved with FCA. Not only are you involved at Evangel, but you were also involved here at Jeff City.
Yeah. So I started in middle school. That's when I first started FCA. One of my teachers was one of the leaders of it, and so I went to it, and I went all the way until senior year of high school. There's not an FCA at Evangel, but I went all through middle school and high school. So.
Talk a little bit about how your faith really helps you as far as with how you conduct yourself on the track with running.
Right. So being a good sport is, that's very important. And I think that's one thing that really helps, it's not always easy, when something happens, like, when you get hurt, things like that. But, keeping a good attitude and being a good sport, no matter what the outcome, that's, something that, my faith has definitely helped me, with, so.
What would you say is the greatest strength that you have through your faith?
Well, when it comes to sports, I'd say just keeping like a level head and not just not making it about me. just remembering what it's about. It's not just about, all about me. It's about glorifying God in, all aspects in sports and just in everything else. So it's just not remembering it's not just about me. It's about something greater than that. So.
And then just in life in general, how do you kind of feel that your faith really helps you?
It just helps with motivation. Just remembering like why I'm doing things. I'm doing things for my Savior, Jesus Christ. It's not just doing things for me. It's not just about how can I further myself? How can I further my own kingdom? It's about how I can further God's kingdom. It's not just about me. What I can get for myself.
Who are some people in your mind that really helped you with your spiritual practices that kind of helped you with your faith?
I'd say one of those was my pastor, Van. He really helped me out with my faith just early on. Also just like he helped me sing, which is something else I do that's aside from sports, and I think that helped me with my faith as well. Just growing. Also, Coach Hughes. He was someone who was an FCA, and he was a really big help as well. So.
Talk about just you kind of mentioned a little bit now just about with singing in a church choir like that. How did you start doing that?
Well, I started, I guess, singing, here, and then I decided, well, I could also sing, for Christ as well. So I did, a little bit of that as well. So.
And just to round out this section here, I told you to pick out a verse or two from the Bible that you have. So go ahead and tell us what it is, and go ahead and kind of mention to us how, what it really means to you and why you picked it.
Right. So I'd have to say it's 1 Corinthians 13:13. Now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. The most important thing, is just remembering just about love. That's just the most important thing, in general. I mean, if we don't have love, it's nothing else really matters, and just how we treat people is really important, just in everyday life. And so love is central to how we treat people. So.
Yeah, and love is certainly a thing that Christ really tries to shed upon everybody, and it definitely seems like you've got that well figured out. Yeah, absolutely. Coming up after the break, we'll return with more of Maurice Dixon Jr. right after this.
What if television could take us back in time, into the mind of a president?
This is our summons to greatness.
And into the soul of a rebel.
I still got the world!
What if we could know how it feels to shoot for the stars, to witness the terrors of combat, and know the heartache of those left at home? And why can't TV remember the heroes we honored, the music we danced to, the dreams we chased?
The hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
No one tells our nation's story like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring America's story to life, now and for generations to come.
I choose to be a champion.
I choose to be inspired.
I choose the perfect fit.
I choose Red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose Red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Welcome to Taylor Tidbits here, presented by Taylor Industries. I'm sitting alongside here with founder and CEO of Taylor Industries, Mike Ballard. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, good to be here.
Absolutely, and go ahead and just tell us a little bit about what Taylor Industries is and what kind of services and products you provide.
Taylor Industries is a manufacturer of medical products. Our main thing that we do here in this facility is ECG electrodes, which are used to monitor your heartbeat. If you're ever in a hospital, or say they do a stress test on you on a treadmill, they're going to have them on you to monitor your heart. We also manufacture TENS electrodes for nerve stimulating, and we custom build machinery to do different things.
And you just kind of mentioning here, this is your newest machine here,
Yes.
correct? And,
Yes.
and how many electrodes can this produce in a given time?
This machine here will run at 60 cycles a minute. It makes 2 electrodes at a time, so it's doing 120 electrodes a minute. So should turn out 30-something thousand a day.
And with a machine like this, how long of a process is it from when you establish the order for it to when you actually get it here in the shop?
We typically will tell people it takes anywhere from 18 to 20 weeks. The building of it is not as time constraining as the ordering the cylinders that go on it. They come from a cylinder manufacturer, so we're kind of at the mercy of when they can get that stuff delivered. So, but typically it'll take 2 to 3 months from start to finish. Every machine we build is custom made, so there's only 2 machines that have ever left here that were identical twins. Every other machine, it's custom built for what the customer needs. So there'll be certain stations that may not be on a machine, or certain stations that have to be modified for their needs. So every machine's different.
This is Mike Ballard, the founder and CEO of Taylor Industries. This has been Taylor Tidbits.
I choose excitement.
I choose to make a difference.
I choose uncommon opportunities.
I choose red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
What if television could remember the heroes we honored, the music we danced to, the dreams we chased?
The hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
No one tells our nation's story like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring America's story to life.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Hi, I'm Jason Ketz, and thanks for watching this week's edition of The Heart of the Mule, presented by Taylor Industries. If you or someone you know would like to be on the show, email us at theheartofthemule@gmail.com. And welcome back to this week's edition of The Heart of the Mule underneath the Taylor Industries tent. Again, I'm Jason Ketz, alongside with Maurice Dixon Jr., Evangel Crusaders University just down in Springfield. Again, we're here in Jeff City, inside the gym here. Mentioned a little bit earlier how it's a nice little homecoming for you. Just kind of stepping into the high school a little bit, does it bring back a lot of good memories for you?
It does bring back a lot of good memories. I can remember running on the track here. I can remember playing on the football field here. It's just a lot of memories all around, So just a lot of memories.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. One of the big things that, again, I'm from Kansas City myself, and coming here to Jefferson City and being able to experience the you know, everything that goes around with this Jeff City Jays high school, you know, athletics-wise, it is football. You know, football is king. You know, I was able to visit Atkins Stadium a little bit earlier, and you know, just kind of, you know, as a football player, as a former football player, I was able to get kind of a sense of what a Friday night atmosphere would be like. Obviously, you were there, so just kind of talk about what a true Friday night atmosphere is here in Jeff City.
I mean, the excitement was just overwhelming. Like, you know, just all you'd be thinking about that day is, you know, the game. You know, Friday night, just like, oh man, you know, all those people are going to be there. Oh man, you know, we're going to get to play. You know, it's just the excitement, just running onto the field, just, you know, it's just so much energy. You know, just all around. So.
And how did you start playing? You know, what was the first year that you played organized football?
First year would probably be in middle school. I played organized football all the way up until high school. So, yeah.
And you were a running back, correct?
I was.
Yeah. Talk about just being able to run the ball. I was more of an offensive and defensive lineman myself. So, what was, you know, kind of just give me a feeling of how it is being able to, you know, carry the rock and be able to, you know, control a lot of the outcome of games.
I mean, I just remember, you know, a lot of running up the middle. You know, just it was 8:31 plays right up the middle, and I can remember one Friday we were beating a team like really badly, and I got to play. And I ran, you know, for like a 39-yard touchdown play. You know, I didn't see a lot of other, you know, carries, but that was a really big memory I have about playing. So that was really special. So.
Absolutely. And not only were you on the football field, but you were also on the track as well. So you got to again be at the at Atkins Stadium a little bit. In high school, just talk about a little bit the growth that you had as far as your track career going from your freshman year all the way through senior year.
So, you know, my freshman year, you know, first year coming in, you know, I had to start building up, you know, 100, 200, 400, I was a sprinter. I think my best run was probably 200. You know, I had some good races there. You know, I think I had maybe 123, you know, time. So 200 was probably my best race overall. So.
And not only did you do the 200, but you also did a bunch of relays as well. You did the 4x1, you did the 4x2, and the 4x4. Just talk about, you know, obviously the complexity of being able to hand off the baton from one to another, and you really having to be able to have that chemistry with your running mates to be able to accomplish the toss.
Yeah, we'd practice that more than almost anything else. Maybe block starts would be a close second, but you know, our coaches would drill into our head just getting, you know, in the right spot, you know, just all the time. So we'd practice that over and over again. So, you know, we didn't want to mess up on a handoff because we'd be really mad at ourselves for that. So we'd drill that over and over and over again, and we'd, you know, make sure that we didn't drop the baton. So.
And then, so we flashed to your senior year of high school, and you've already graduated from walking off the stage, and you know, you kind of just had that niche in your mind of, you know, I wanted to continue running, and with you being able to go to Evangel, just talk about the process of how you decided to choose Evangel and kind of, you know, how you went about that.
Well, I wanted to go to Evangel, you know, because it was a Christian school, so that was a big motivator, and you know, they had a track team, and I wanted to continue to keep running. So, you know, I went to go talk to the coach, and, you know, I just told him about how I'd been running at JC, and, you know, I gave him, you know, my times, and he said I should, you know, come back and talk to him about it again, and, you know, I came back and talked to him about it again, and, you know, now I'm running at JC.
So you're able to go to Evangel, and you step on campus, and obviously there's a lot of change going on, not only just you know, on the athletic side of things, but also just in general, you know, adjusting to college life. Kind of talk about that and how that transition was for you.
I mean, you know, there was, you know, definitely not as many people I knew starting off, but then it was a help to join other activities there too, so that helped. Track was one. I met a few people. My roommate now is on the track team, so meeting people was very helpful in the transition. I think probably the most important thing was meeting people just at the school. So.
And your first indoor season, which was your freshman year, you end up redshirting. And I know from talking with the other track athletes that making that transition from strictly more outdoor work in high school and going into that indoor. Talk about just the transition that you really had to take as an athlete to be able to adjust to the different scenery.
Yeah, it was definitely a transition. I wasn't expecting, like what I got. There was definitely just the air in general. It's just drier. It's just a different feel. The track's smaller, but that doesn't mean the races are easier. It's still pretty much the same thing. So just have to practice indoors more. That's a big one. So.
And then you end up competing in the outdoor season your freshman year. Just talk about that first race that you competed in, and just kind of really being able to say I'm here and I'm competing on the collegiate level.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. I'm like, wow, I'm actually here. So, I mean, it went well at the first race, so that was good.
Absolutely, and then you get into your sophomore season and you compete at your conference championships in the 60-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. So talk about now. Again, you're just a junior or sophomore now. Excuse me. Just talk about how you're kind of starting to build your blocks a little bit as far as building up your running times and being able to be able to achieve more.
I'm still trying to do better, but also just at the in the just sophomore year, I had an injury that didn't really help very much, so that didn't help. But I'm still trying to recover from that and try to get back on track. So,
how has your physical therapy been going with that?
I'm going every Wednesday, just to see somebody so that I can stretch out my legs and so that I can get back out there. So. Yeah.
Does your faith kind of help you as along with your being able to go through your physical therapy? Do you really find a lot of strength through Christ?
Just to keep going, just to keep persevering, and knowing that, it's not the most important thing too. There's still more important things. So, no matter whether or not I get back, on the track or not, I'm still going to keep trying. So.
And again, you're still kind of more in the beginning stages of your collegiate career. What's a main goal of yours down the road, athletic-wise, that you want to achieve at Evangel?
I would definitely like to do a lot better just on just races in general, just like to be able to get some good times on 400s, just 200s, and just better in general. So.
You're a psychology major at Evangel. Just tell us what do you want to? Where do you see yourself 10 or 15 years down the road? What do you ultimately want to do?
As of right now, I'd like to be a Christian counselor. So I'll probably have to go to grad school for that, and hopefully I should be able to be able to do that. So, yeah.
He is Maurice Dixon Jr. I am Jason Ketz. This has been this week's edition of The Heart of the Mule underneath the Taylor Industries tent, coming to you from Jeff City. We'll see you later. Hi, I'm Jason Ketz, and thanks for watching this week's edition of The Heart of the Mule presented by Taylor Industries. If you or someone you know would like to be on the show, email us at theheartofthemule@gmail.com.